All right, I think I might be live. Let me make sure that, as always have to confirm. You don't want to just keep talking and think that you're live when you're not. So here goes my little check to confirm, and there I am. I am live. Hello, guys, ladies and gentlemen, folks, friends, countrymen. This is Carlos Phoenix of Carlos Phoenix Live, the Lounge Network, and so on. Just wanted to say what's up for the day. But I also had a couple announcements to make. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds while I just mess around here with some of the things I like to mess around with. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining. So I am here in my living room with my setup, which is not 100% complete, but it doesn't need to be. What's up, Marvin? Thank you for joining. So I had one simple announcement, really. It's a big one for me because even though I've been doing my shows for about 8 or 9 years, the shows have been live only this past year. And that's a big deal. Now, I did do one live show about, 3 years ago. And in that show, we had, I think it was about 7,000 people live. But that spent a lot of money on PR, and it was a private server. It was not using any of the services that are available today, especially, thank you, Jennifer, especially things like Facebook Live and YouTube Live and some of the other services that are available. So first of all, let me ask, can you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. Please press 1 so that I know that I am speaking clearly and you can hear me. Let me know. I will wait a few seconds for that. Also, for those who have not seen anything that I've done, I'll just give you a little glimpse as to what I do with live streaming. So let me show you. Oh, well, this is funny. First, always prepare your stuff ahead of time. So you do want to make sure that if you're going to show something off, that people can see it. So there it is. Clear but a little soft. Okay, fantastic. So let me raise the volumes on that so that you can hear me. Hopefully that's a little better. Let me see if there's any other reason why my audio is not coming in good. So let me lower this. How's that? Let's see. Now, I cannot hear myself that well, so if it gets better, let me know. So, hey, Chitachi, I am here just as you are, and I am making sure. Now, what you're seeing here on the side is one of my episodes that I live streamed, and that's better. Great. Thank you, Jen. So, this is what you're looking at was a Facebook Live. Oops, that direction. And you can see it's a live stream on Facebook Live with graphics, with lower thirds, with branding, and that's kind of what I do. And because of that, I believe I have been invited to speak. So I am Carlos Phoenix, for those who don't know. And if you've heard about CreatorCon.live, CreatorCon.live is the home for all digital creators. It educates others on what it means to be a creator, for those who want to be part of a movement, and is by creators for creators. And they are having an event, and I'm going to be speaking at the event, and would love for you guys to join if you're in the local area. Now, I'm going to be speaking there. It's April 29th to 30th in Jersey City. It's across from the Freedom Tower. And I know Chitachi is also going to be there, so I saw her announcement earlier today. Now, there's only 240 tickets available, and 80 of those are VIP. So if you get a chance to party, you get a chance with a VIP to party with the speakers, and that would include myself and Chitachi. So if you're local, tri-state area, maybe a little bit further, and something that interests you, it's a 2-day event, so you might enjoy it. You'll be learning a lot of things, and we'll be talking about live streaming and what it means and how it can help, let's see, the new world of today that we're entering. So if you want to check out more information, go to CreatorCon.live and get ready to create, because if you are interested in doing this type of work, then you can see the benefits in the future for branding, for people who are going to be presenting entertainment like I do. I present artists and musicians, and here, for example, an illustrator. And that is kind of the future. We become the entertainment. We will be competing, let's say, with cable television and radio and podcasts and all that stuff. But the great thing is that it is something that you can attend in person. And what's also great about what we do here is being able to participate, being able to talk back, being able to ask questions. So you're interested in this Creative Con. Jonathan Tripp, I believe, may also be part of it. So that's fantastic. Marvin wants to go. And now check out the pricing because, you know, for some of you it might be like, sticker shock. But if it's something that you really want to do, it's something you need to commit to. You know, this coming year, I'm going to be launching a website. I don't know if I want to announce it completely, but it is going to be Livestreaming Masters. And that'll be a website where we will be teaching live streaming. We'll be able to do consulting for major businesses. I've been getting approached by a lot of companies, media companies, and not in New York, actually out of state, and they want me to teach them the step-by-steps, everything from the technology to the personality to be able to overcome your fears, and then also a lot of the high-end to the low-end technologies. Now, I know some of you might even follow, hey, Wagner, what's going on? How are you? Is it all creative or is it digital broadcasting? I don't know exactly. You may want to read up on that. I would say it has a lot to do with kind of what we're doing here now, which is the ability to communicate live, converse, and so on. So I think that's part of it. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for the congratulations. Awesome. Thank you. And so CreatorCon, I guess I heard about it, and I think they were kind enough to approach me, and they have a structure that they have in place, which is fantastic because even though I have spoken in front of people, the direction is usually teaching, and the direction is usually the hypotheticals of what the future of content is, and that's kind of what I'm about you know, making sure that your branding is showing, making sure that there's ways for people to know who you are without you having to kind of be tooting your own horn all the time. Being able to present content. You know, I'm still showing this video here of me doing a live show, and being able to bring in guests. And a lot of us are not rich. We don't have the ability to afford a big production studio. So what I normally will be doing in the website that I will be launching is talking about how you can do things on your own without spending a fortune. Yes, it'll cost money. You know, it's not free to just simply say, okay, here, this is who I am. Look at the branding, you know, but it's also not about showing off. It's about being able to tell your message and being able to do it and having your brand just kind of be transparent there in the background. People are already familiar with seeing logos and seeing lower thirds and all that type of stuff. And what you want to do is be able to present those things in a way that's familiar. Oh, sorry about that noise. Being able to do it in a way that's familiar. You don't want to overwhelm them with graphics popping up everywhere, but in a way that's going to be familiar and you can still relay your message and show off your personality. You're rich with love. Awesome, Wagner. Well, we got to talk, buddy. Let's see. So if you're interested, again, CreatorCon.live is the place to find out about that event. It is in April, and I'm excited about it. I don't know where I'll be coming from because I don't know if I'll still be in New York or Atlanta or Florida or wherever I'm going to be residing, but I am excited about the future of next year, live streaming, and what comes with it. So, yeah, that's kind of what I went on live for, and I hope if you have any questions, well, I'm here live now, so ask me some questions. That's what it's about. Now, also, I'm lining up some shows with artists. One artist is in London. In fact, let me see if I can show you a little bit of the first interview I did with this young lady. And now we're going to do a catch-up show. And the catch-up show is cool because we get to see whether things that happened from the first show that she said she was going to do will have resulted in anything. So what I do is I talk to independent musicians and their aspirations and how they're overcoming obstacles and all that type of stuff. And that's what my interviews are about. And you can check those out at theloungenetwork.com. But then I try to do a catch-up episode years later. And we get to see if those ambitions that they went after came into fruition. And the idea is for those new artists, anybody who's watching who's a musician or a filmmaker or creative, how they can overcome their fears by watching others who have done it and then had certain levels of success. So here's an example of the young lady, and let me rewind this a tad. There we go. And this is using this very studio, although this interview was done, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and it's using the same setup that I'm using right now. And what's cool is that the only thing that changed for me, hello Ross, welcome. The only thing that changed for me is the ability to just do it live. So for me, my experience is that I've been doing these kind of shows and these episodes. She was in London. There was no blab. There was no smile time. There was none of that stuff. And all the editing, all that stuff is done real time. So here in this part of the interview, I'm talking to this young lady who was in London again, and we show off her music video all in real time. And kind of like what I'm doing now, just showing you all this stuff in real time. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of my direction and the type of things that I'll be teaching in the classes, the courses, or the one-on-one or the consultations that I'll be doing with businesses, because that is kind of what I'm doing now. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'll be talking at CreatorCon, because that's kind of what I want others to be able to accomplish. It's one thing for me to do it myself. It's another for me to see how you guys have grown and how you guys can become the future of content along with what's happening in the industry. And if we're the early adopters, then we become the premier content creators. And yes, we'll be competing with TV because they're also jumping in. We'll be competing with newspapers. We'll be competing with magazines who are jumping on board. We'll be competing with Facebook. We'll be competing with YouTube. We'll be, we got to push our way through and get the audiences to be interested in our content. So what that means is, if your content is consistent but you don't see your audience growing, we have to then say, hey, what is it about our content that's not appealing, or how is it that it's not being shared? Which reminds me, if you're interested in anything I'm saying right now, feel free to share what I'm talking about. Share this on your timeline, share this however way possible, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, and so on, because it might be interesting. If people are creators that you know, maybe if they want to attend a CreatorCon.live, that might be interesting to them, and they might learn something as well. We all are the future of content. That's exactly correct. We are the future of content. But part of that future of content is being able to raise that level of what the content looks like. And, right now I got curtains behind me. That's kind of not what I'm talking about. But at the same time, able to present your brand, being able to, show some of it's not about the tech. It's about being transparent with the tech, but also about presenting yourself and showing that you are knowledgeable in the criteria that you're knowledgeable in. And let's see, hold on, there's somebody commenting. The thing is, we know how to engage and not just repurpose when it's done on linear television. Yeah, well, another thing is we also got to come up with a flow. For example, here, this is not a show. I'm introducing what I'll be doing in the future and also introducing the CreatorCon, but also want to discuss a little bit as to what all this means in terms of what's happening in the next few years. Now, we know 360 is happening. Facebook just launched that. We know VR is happening. Others are doing that. Other forms of technology will come in, but we have to tackle this right now. Because if we don't, then the new stuff that comes out, we're just going to fall behind. Oh, I don't even know how to do a lower third. If you're tackling those issues along with the content, because those who present it in a visual format, the content's good, right? We got that. The rest has to go with it, because eventually it's gonna compete with mainstream, and what we're looking for in the long run is our mainstream audience, right? We got our friends who are fans, which is great, and we got the early adopters, which is great, and then we have people who are also doing the same type of thing that we're doing, and that's great. But when we're talking about the thousands and the hundreds of thousands, and if not the millions, that we're trying to get their attention, we got to match what the millions are already watching. And so that's part of, yes, CreatorCon. What is the link? So CreatorCon. Thank you so much, Chitachi. Now, again, Chitachi is also going to be participating. She announced earlier today. Let's see. It's about production quality. Was it right? Exactly, production quality as well. So, good cameras, good lighting, which I'm totally not doing right now. Fantastic. Isn't that great how I do these things? It also has to do with if you intend to make money, and there's different ways of doing it, sponsorships, ads, and we have to do it in a way that is not going to interfere with the way, let's say, Facebook has their rules laid out, right? Like I can't show commercials, or can I? Here, for example, I'm promoting this musician. She's doing fantastic, and I want to be able to present talents. I want to be able to present people who cook. I want to be able to present people who do workouts and exercise. I want to be able to present all sorts of different entertaining content. I'm not a person. I do marketing professionally. That's what I do behind the scenes at my job, or web development, SEO, and also social media. I don't want to do shows in a personal level when I could be pursuing my passion in a personal level, which, as much as social media and all that stuff is my passion, I believe in the social media. I believe in the showing off the talents because that's my passion, right? I used to be in the music industry where I used to do album covers. I used to be in the entertainment industry where I used to do art directing of film and production and all that type of stuff. And I'm probably going to go back into that now, which is why I don't know whether I'll be in New York or Atlanta and so on. Those are just things that are happening on a personal level. But anyway, that being said, increasing your production quality is part of my conversation. It's one thing to be able to have the message and feed it to people, but it's also important that you do it in a way that gets the most attention, because that way, if people see that you have certain production value and they see that you have a message, then you have commitment. In other words, they'll come back because they know that there's a certain quality to it. It's not just the message. And, let's see, what else? Zach, thank you for joining. So anyway, if anything is making any sense, or if you have any questions about maybe, or even a comment, Carlos, I don't agree, feel free, because right now is the time to do those things. I may not always be right, but if you have a comment that might make me change my mind, or maybe it'll make me refocus what I'm doing, my intent is to help everyone be on the same level and increase not only their quality, but that way their message gets out further. Because eventually, Facebook is not going to be the only one. Obviously, some of us are using Periscope and YouTube as well, but right now I have the ability of broadcasting to 255 live streaming channels all over the world from my phone. And I want to help others be able to do that as well. So that is kind of the mission that I have. And I want to help you do that as well, which is part of my mission for next year. And I also want to help, and I don't agree, just wanted to say that. Thanks, Wagner. Wagner does not agree with anything I am saying or doing. Heh. But also he's a very intelligent man, so I would pay attention to whatever he has to say, except for that one comment. Okay, so again, CreatorCon.live is the website you want to go to find out more about what I'll be doing and talking about. I'll be speaking at that location in New Jersey, across from the Freedom Towers, which in itself is an amazing location. Just looking over the river and seeing Manhattan and the Freedom Towers is amazing. So I look forward to it, and I look forward to seeing you guys there as well. Anyway, and unless there's any more comments, I'm going to give it a moment. Turner Sports Sideline has just passed away. What was his name? What was this person's name? So I like to announce the deaths of people, not because I enjoy it, but because it is always... so sideline reporter Craig Sager has passed away after battling acute myeloid leukemia. He was 65. So that's the news report for the day. And we know it's the holiday times. If any of you guys are facing lows and depression or anything like that, you can contact me directly in direct messaging. I am here for you because I myself have experienced it. I know what it's like. I know how it feels. It is the low of the low, and sometimes it's just important to be able to communicate And even if it's a perfect stranger, sometimes that's better, because sometimes there's shame and embarrassment of feeling the way you do. And sometimes I'm willing to be an outlet for you to kind of overcome those hard feelings inside. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. But if I don't see you guys, I will be live streaming again. But if I don't see you guys, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the holidays that you guys celebrate. Much love, much hugs. And I'm going to look one more time for any comments. Are you confirmed to speak? I am confirmed, yes. I am confirmed to speak. I don't have a time, but it is either on the 29th or the 30th for the CreatorCon. So, all right, that concludes my morning announcements in the afternoon. And that's it. All right, guys. Well, have a great week. And hello, Heidi. Thank you for joining last minute. But don't worry, you can catch my replay. I have announced. Once again, let me just review again. CreatorCon.live. CreatorCon is basically a organization that is the home for all digital creators. They are focused on educating others to become a creator, and those who want to be part of the movement, particularly in live streaming for me. And it is by creators for creators. So I will be speaking in New Jersey, just to let you know where that is going to be. It is April 29th, and it is called CreatorCon. It is the first CreatorCon.live, and it is going to be at the HYATT Regency in Jersey City. And to give you an idea visually where that is, it is directly across from Ground Zero in New York City. So, yeah, so there, Heidi. I hope that was a quick review of what we'll be doing. There are only 240 tickets. Not sure why the limitation, but probably because of the size of the hotel. And being the first, you're not going to be prepared for 10,000 people, so that's probably why as well. Again, last minute thoughts, if anyone has any. Thank you, Hitachi. Actually, it was your announcement that reminded me that I needed to make my announcement, so thank you. And still playing in the background is, I guess on that episode I must have shown a lot of music videos. But what I do is I present those as they're still talking over the video, and it helps show off their talents, because this young lady is very talented. So anything else, when you post the info, I'll share it. Well, this is the post, although I guess I didn't put a lot of details in the, but I'll update it and I'll have that information for you guys. Cool deal. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining. I hope this looked okay. I mean, I didn't even turn on any lights. I'm actually sitting in the dark. The light that you see in front of me is literally the computer screen shining on my nasty looking face. So there. All right. And is my voice too high pitched? I don't know. Is it? Let me know if my voice is like not deep enough. But anyway. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And thanks for letting me know about my audio being low. And hopefully I'll see you guys later. Bye.